Yo, so yesterday I asked who suffers from lower back pain when it comes to squatting, deadlifting, running, or any of these form of exercises. And obviously it's very common. More common is because obviously people aren't as mobile or as flexible no more. People tend to sitting down and doing a lot more office-based jobs. And the reason that is because when you're sitting down, the muscles at the front of your leg, your hip flexor muscles, they shorten and they tighten. Now, and obviously with your hip flexor muscles, they attach onto your lower back. So any kind of overuse or any kind of imbalance is going to cause a problem further on down the line. Then obviously you move to the back of your legs, you've got your hamstrings. From sitting down, once again, your hamstrings are going to get really tight and really short again. And because they're underused as well, they're very weak. You go further up the chain, you've got your biggest muscle group, the glutes. Now the glutes are once again are going to be underused, they're going to be weak, and they're going to be really, really tight. So anybody here that's wanting to squat or deadlift and they're wanting to get the most out of the exercise, they're wanting to grow their glutes, and they're doing the exercise hoping, because they've read on the internet, they're squatting, that there's a great exercise for the glutes. Well, when you go all the way down to the bottom of a squat, obviously the main aim there is to fire out of your glutes. So you to contract, activate your glutes and fire up using your glutes. Well, if your glutes are tight and you can't activate them, guess where it's going to go? It's going to go through your lumbar spine, so your lower back, or it's going to go through your hamstrings or disperse the weight anywhere else. So what I tend to do with clients is, first of all, I give them a routine to do morning and night, so a static stretching routine. So that's where you can really open up your hip flexor muscles, you can really stretch out your hamstrings and stretch out your glutes. So almost like yoga style posing, stretching that you could do in the morning and at night. Before a workout, I'd give them a lot more mobility based stuff, so stuff that's going to open up the hips once again, and just to open up the glutes and just to get everything a lot more activated. But before I would do that, the mobility stuff, the first thing that I tell clients to buy and to get is always going to be like a little lacrosse ball. Now the reason that I get them to get a lacrosse ball is just because that's going to get really, really deep into your glutes. What you will find is that your glute muscles are going to be really tight. Now once again, remember, if you're wanting to grow your glutes or train your glutes or just train properly and get the most out of an exercise, you want your glutes to be firing and activated. If the glute muscles are switched off or just excessively tight, you're never ever going to be able to do them. So the first step is get that before you train into your glutes, get your glutes a lot looser. Then what you can do is go, right, I'm going to do some glute activation drills. So that could be from like band based drills, or could do from single leg hip thrusts, or it could be doing from hip thrusts. So then you've obviously got your glutes activated. Then what you want to be doing, and before I like to train as well, what I'll do is like some planks. So I'll get my abs activated. This once again is going to take the strain off your lower back. When it comes to training, what I would do is I'd focus on, okay, right, so I know that I want to get back into squat and deadlift. I want to get the most out of it to benefit my training, to get strong at those lifts. But I'm going to pull back for 4 to 6 weeks here. I'm going to do exercises to really help me activate and strengthen my glutes, strengthen my abs, strengthen my hamstrings. Then when I add them back into my programming later on down the line, I know that I'm going to get a lot more out from exercises. So just because you read on the internet that a squat is the best exercise for glutes, doesn't mean it's best for your glutes, because if you can't activate your glutes, it doesn't matter. So take your training back a little bit. Get used to being able to activate your glutes and contract your glutes. Use stuff like your barbell hip thrusts, bridges, all these different kind of things. Then move into your squats and your deadlifts straight on down the line when you're activating your glutes and everything is firing properly when you're doing your exercising.